everyone, it's Young Widow 26, and Happy New Year. This is the first day of 2011, so hopefully this year is better than last year. The way I'm thinking of it is, it can only get better, right? Hopefully that's not too naive. So today I'm going to do my top 5 book recommendations of the books that I've bought in relation to grief, fiction and non-fiction. So I only did 5 because I figured it would be a really long video if I went through all of them that I bought, and I might as well just tell you the ones that I like the best. So if you have any other books that you'd like to have a review done or see if I've already read them, just send me a message or comment beneath this video. And also feel free to do like a response video where you review some books that you read that I didn't mention. So I'm going to start with probably the one I would recommend most just to start, and I got this as a gift, and it's called Your Grieving Heart, 100 Practical Ideas. This is by Alan Wolfelt, and I like this because it really is practical, and it just gives you just some basic ideas, some things that might seem common sense, but to me at the time, a week in, it wasn't really common sense. I had no idea what to do or what was going on. So it's really great. Like a couple examples in here. Number 8 is understand the 6 needs of mourning, which is really neat. And 18, expect to have a multitude of feelings. And 55, practice patience. I mean, those aren't that good, but I mean, there's a couple different things in here, and one of them that I followed when I first read this book was, go get new sheets. And again, I already mentioned this, but it took me a while to actually do that, but it was a nice thing to do, as well as like my soft blanket and all that kind of came from this book. So it's a good way to start out. The next book that I'd recommend specifically for young widows is Widows Wear Stilettos by Carole, Brody, Fleet. And this is a great book that was recommended to me. I actually got this as a gift from a widow that I know, a good friend, and this is great because it is really specifically for young widows. I think she was probably 40-something when she wrote this book and lost her husband. So as a 26-year-old, I still find it really relevant. She goes through things from financial things to even exercising. See, when both mommy and daddy are you. I mean, that doesn't really pertain to me, but a lot of you, I'm sure it does. First love, all these different things. Really great, especially the financial things are really good in there. The next book, number 3, is I Wasn't Ready to Say Goodbye, Surviving, Coping, and Healing After the Sudden Death of a Loved One. This might not apply to everyone if it wasn't like a sudden death, but I know that some people, even if it was something from an illness and may have taken a while, this still may be relevant to you. I think it still has a lot of good stuff in here. This is by Brook, Noel, and Pamela Blair, and again, I will put all of these titles and authors underneath this video so that you can find them after the video. So this is a really great one. I didn't get this one till a little bit later, not so early, but which was better. But this is great because it goes through things like weddings, what to do, which I've already done. My first wedding. Maybe that'll be another video sometime to kind of go through those things. Losing a friend, losing a child, losing a spouse, a lot of different things in here, and it's just really good. So it's not actually specifically just for if you lose a spouse, it's for if you've lost anyone, really. So that could be a good gift maybe for your kids or his or her parents. So the next book, number 4, is The Shack, and this is fictional. I love this, and it's really great, and it's a little bit tough in the beginning. It does have some sad parts in here, but overall I think it's a really great book, and I found it to be comforting, the message in this book. I actually went to a seminar and listened to him speak and talk about a lot of things in this book. It helped to make more sense. It's really great. Some people don't like it because it really changes or really challenges maybe their thoughts on religion or spirituality, and it is basically a Christian book. Well, it's Christian, yeah. And so if you're really strict, you may have problems with it, but I know that a lot of people have really loved it, including myself, and I think it's great for dealing with death. So the last book, number 5, is The Wheel of Life, a memoir of living and dying by Elisabeth Kubler-Ross. Now, you may have heard of her before because she did On Death and Dying, which is like probably the most well-known book on death and dying. And I found this really interesting because this, you know, like it says, a memoir of living and dying. It's as she is getting into her final days, right before she passes away, and some of her thoughts on everything. And I think the most significant thing in here, which is always a controversy, is, you know, the stages of grief that she came out with. And she says in here that, you know, she never meant for that to be black and white and applies to everyone, and it only is that way. That she did, you know that it's not the same for everyone, that you may go through things many times or, you know, never at all. It just depends. But in speaking of generalities, that's what she meant. So, and I have one book that is just honorable mention because I have not finished it, and don't judge me. It's Eat, Pray, Love, and I know it came out a movie, and I saw the movie just recently. I didn't watch it earlier when it first came out, so I just watched it on video, and I was surprised I liked it because I saw so many bad reviews. So I was like, well, I'll get the book, and well, I didn't have to get it. I ended up getting this as a Christmas present, luckily, so I didn't even have to buy it. But I would totally recommend reading this so far. This is how far I am. Let's see. I am on page 110, and I love it. I think this is great, especially for women. Sorry, guys, but I think guys could like this too. I think overall it's really interesting to see someone, you know, basing it on their own and not exactly conforming, and maybe doing some things like traveling and not just strictly working after having a major life change. And I really enjoy it. I think it's inspiring, and it's just a really good read overall. So those are my books for review that I've read so far. And again, if you have any other recommendations, you know, leave them as a comment, or even do a video and review some books yourself. I'd love to see some other videos from people watching. So I hope this was helpful. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next video.